Hello everybody, welcome to the Lille Regionals vlog. I keep meaning to do these after Regionals, or did last year I suppose, and just completely forgot about doing it because I'm terrible. This is going to be a weird one as well because I have no B-roll, so you're going to see mostly me, sorry, and talking about matchups and things like that. It's going to be a bit of a weird one. I hope to do better for Gdansk, I'll say that much. But once I explain what happened at Lille, you'll understand why this is a bit shorter and less detailed than I'd like it to be. Anyway, Lille Regionals. It was the first Regionals that I was taking part of. I missed out on Dortmund. I originally missed out on registration for Lille as well, which is unusual because I'm pretty much like 100% hit rate, I think, on registering for events like this. But yeah, missed out on it, but got in second reg, so wasn't too bad. And I got quite lucky because I had a friend of mine, Pianofish, who had a space in his hotel. He also helped me with transport as well, so shout out to Pianofish. Thank you very much for all that. And yeah, it was an interesting journey. So for quick context as well, I work a normal, 9 to 5 job. So getting time off this time of year is really awkward because we have our busiest period in October and beyond. So I had to really fight to get time off for this, and luckily I managed to get a train that was like late evening for Friday and then back on the Sunday. So yeah, bit of a weird travel schedule really, and I wish I got, again, more B-roll of trains and things. I just don't have that. Anyway, we got to Lille at, I think it was about 10 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock local time. So we were like straight from the, so first of all, we went from home to London. London, we had to transfer to St. Pancras from Euston, so we walked it. We saw a fight outside of Euston Station, pretty exciting, although kind of scary. I've not really seen a fight in real life, kind of terrifying. It was literally 5 minutes in 5 minutes in London and we saw a fight going on. It was insane. We also got offered do we have to do like guidance things? Is a TOS on YouTube? We had someone offer us plants that you can smoke. I don't know. Anyway, that was cool, I guess. Anyway, we got to St. Pancras, we got into the Eurostar, we watched our good friend Ryan Tong, although I didn't realize it was him at the time. Ryan Tong and his friends, who famously won one of our Jester Weekly challenges. They were playing Beyblade in the Eurostar station. Really cool. It was really funny to watch. We were literally sat like in 2 random seats, and we were just watching them play Beyblade right in front of us. It was very funny. Saw 2 mice just running around the escalator. That was pretty cool. Yeah, kind of the highlights. Anyway, we got into Lille about 10 o'clock. We went straight to the hotel. And it was quite funny because like we took the route, and I was like, I wonder if we'll see like the Grand Palais from here. Like, I've been to Lille once. I'm really good with direction. Like, I can remember a route really easily. But we didn't see it, so whatever. We carried on. We walked all the way. We got into the hotel. It was, whatever. It was fine. Next morning we had breakfast and we set off for the Grand Palais for the regionals, and we were walking for all of, I want to say 3 minutes before I was like, I know exactly where we are. Just like, I was like, James, put away Google Maps. I know exactly where we are. We literally went down the street and it was to some traffic lights that were on the way to where we stayed last year, which is unsurprising. I know I should be shocked that like 2 places where we stayed were close by, but one of them was a Airbnb and one of them was a hotel. So them being that close to each other was quite funny. Anyway, realized where we were and it was all good. We got to the venue sometime, we set off about 7:30, I think it was. So I think we got to the venue before 8 o'clock and we got straight in. I will say this time round, I don't know if it got any worse, but we got straight in. They had tons and tons of staff like handing out, doing the checks for everything and stuff like that. We got straight in and we actually started on time, which we didn't last year. I think it got to like 9 o'clock before they even announced that we were going to be starting soon. I think pairings weren't even up until like 9 o'clock because of how long it took to get through. So shout out to the staff. They got us through really quickly. Vendors were good. Severe lack of hats. I was wearing this beanie and I was really hot. I was like, I might have to buy a cap just to like cool off a little bit, but not many vendors selling hats. Another shout out to Trident Cards. They were there. Nottingham based local game store. They had the sleeves I've been after for ages, the Dragon Shield Soul sleeves. I don't have them in front of me, but they're the metallic ones. I'll put them on the screen somewhere. But they're the metallic purple ones. Hell yeah, dude, got those, and they were €10 as well. So like super cheap. I also spent €6 on a single can of Monster, so that was great. Anyway, you don't care about all that. You care about what happened. So I was playing Raging Bolt. I was playing Caleb Gediman's list verbatim. I was looking at maybe 1 or 2 changes, but I didn't end up making them, which, to be honest, probably wasn't the best idea. And I wasn't my favorite list either. I was testing my own, but I just wasn't too sure about it. And I did like a I've been talking about this on Twitter a lot, but I've been doing a like regional like simulation run every night, so I'll play 8 games, and as long as I win 6 of them, I'm feeling pretty confident about the deck. I used Caleb Gedimer's list on the Thursday night, I think it was, for testing, and it went 6-2, and I'm like, you know what, that's fine, I'll run this list and see how it goes. I didn't enjoy it. I will say I think the lack of trekking shoes in the list is a glaring omission in the list. I think having the option to just run through your list, or run through your deck, is very important, especially if you're going to end up against specific decks, which we'll talk about in a minute. So, round 1 was against Lost Box. Now, if I'm smart, I'll have put the day 1 meta share up. Lost Box was less than 3% of the room, or 3% of the room. So to run into one immediately as a Raging Bolt player sucked. Lost the first game, won the second game. The second game win, I was a bit potentially cheeky. I do feel a little bit bad about this. They went for a Radiant Greninja play, and they went, okay, 90 on the Squawkabilly, 90 on the Ogerpon. I put 90 on the Squawkabilly, drew my card. They looked at me, I went, you can't do bench damage to Ogerpon. And he looked and went, oh, and realized, and to be fair to him, to his credit, he didn't say, oh, can I take it back and blah, blah, blah. Like, they realized their mistake and we just carried on. So I managed to get a win out of that. I don't know if I would have won if that damage had worked out or whatever, but yeah, took a win. And then we had 2 minutes left and they were like, do we have time to finish the game? I called a judge and they were like, yeah, 2 minutes. And I was like, I'm kind of happy to take a win. Take a tie against Lost Box, honestly. Like, of all the decks I could have come up against, tying Lost Box is absolutely fine, I think. But with 2 minutes, I probably should have gone for it, because they were choosing to go first. They won the coin flip and chose first. So I could have potentially got a donk in there. But just to save time, I just said, yeah, no, it's fine, we'll take a tie. So that was 0-0-1. My next deck, or my next round was against Iron Thorns. Another one less than 3% or less in the meta. That ended up being a tie as well. It was a game 1. It was a game 1, long game 1 loss. Game 2 was quite quick, actually. We went to... he didn't get any energy attachment first turn. I had Slither Wing on the bench and Raging Bolt in the active. I didn't take a knockout of Raging Bolt. I put 2 fighting energy down with Sada, 1 on the Raging Bolt, 1 on the Slither Wing. I didn't have any other energy for attachment, which was really annoying. Potentially could have got... I don't think I could have got a attacking with Slither Wing at that point, because there was no way to switch it. So I think I had Prime Catcher in hand. That was it. I had Prime Catcher in hand, but they only had 1 Iron Thorns down, so I was like, oh, I can't even use it, so that's annoying. They ended up getting another Iron Thorns down. They went to Turbo Energize, and I think they were lacking energy, so I Burst Roared the previous turn. So I looked at my hand, I had a Fighting Energy and I had a Switch Cart. Pretty cool. So I attached the Fighting Energy to Slither Wing. I used the Switch Cart, they scooped immediately, because I think they realized that I would have taken 2 knockouts before they could even do anything at that point. So that was an easy second game win, and then we just ran out of time. We got to overtime with 4 prize cards remaining or something like that? I think they had 6, actually. I had 4. But I missed the knockout on my second to last turn, and because of that, there was no way to take a win, so we had to go for another tie. So I am at this point 2 ties into the run, which is fine. You can still make it through with either 6-0-2 or 5-0-3, like either of those make it to day 2, so... You know, I was fine. I was fine with it. We went into the next game, and I ended up against Blissey EX. This player, such a sweetheart. It was a win-win for me, but they were really sweet. They had recently moved from Frankfurt to Paris, I believe. I think they said the only deck they had was the Blissey EX, and they had to borrow a playmat from a friend to even play in the tournament. Obviously you don't need a playmat, but it helps. So yeah, 2-0'd them. That was all good and fine. The next game was Chen Pao Baxcalibur, a deck not even on the day 1 meta share. I think I knew there was... So, Murdo and Marius, 2 of my awesome friends, they were playing Chen Pao. There was at least 1 other person that James played that played Chen Pao, and I believe this was a completely different person that played Chen Pao. So there was at least 4 of them. But that was it. There was only 4 of them. And James managed to run into one, and so did I. Like, it was so annoying. And, yeah, they just 2-0'd me. Like, I had no answer to anything they had. The more annoying part as well was they played Rotom, and they played Rotom down both times. I got the knockout on the Rotom game 1, but then because they played Pokemon League Headquarters, I completely ran out of steam. And again, lacking the option of track and shoes to dig through the deck, I think really cost me. Because if I hit a Sada, then at least I can respond. But I just couldn't dig through the deck at all. I didn't have access to Fezandipiti. It was just an absolute nightmare. So yeah, 2-0 and out of day 2 contention at that point. So I'm like, okay, well, at least I can still play for top 256. Next game was Lost Box, playing against somebody who I've seen like a million times at League Cups, but I've never played against. So it's cool to get to chat to them as well. They were also knocked out in the same way. I think they got knocked out by Dragapult, I think it was. So they were literally like, not the next one, I think the one over from me when I was playing the Champao in round 4, so that was cool. But yeah, played against them. Win-loss-win against Lost Box, which was a shocking revelation to me. Slither Wing definitely carried against the Blood Moon Ursa Luna there, and I think they just ran out of resources trying to get all the attacks off, especially with like 290 health on the Raging Bolts and things like that. So yeah, played that as well as I could. And then the next game was round 6. That was a double loss against Gardevoir, which is just an absolutely dire matchup for me. Again, sorry, go back to round 5, by the way. Another Lost Box, 3% of the meta, awesome. Gardevoir, I think, was 4 or 3% of the meta as well. All of my matchups, I didn't see a single meta deck. And bearing in mind, I probably had nearly 100 games. I'll check my spreadsheet, but I think I've got like 100 games into various different decks, but mostly the ones that you would expect to see. And I just didn't see a single one. Didn't see a Charizard, Lugia, anything like that. So yeah, double L against Gardevoir. Nice opponent. They were nice enough, but yeah. As soon as that happened, I was like, I just need to drop. This is too much. Didn't get a headache this time, so that's good. Proof that Champai was causing the stress and not the regionals. But yeah, it sucked, because like I would have loved to play for at least top 256, try and get the same result as like last time I was at Lille, but yeah, no, it wasn't to be, and that's fine. It was the matchup roulette. But at that point, I was so annoyed that I was like, you know what, I'm just going to see if I can go home today. So the original plan was to go home Sunday evening, spend the day in Lille on Sunday, you know, obviously hoping to get day 2, but if not, you know, we'll hang out. I thought, you know, I'm not one with side events or anything like that. I'm a standard player. It's just easier for me. I knew I was going to see the boys again in 2 weeks in Gdansk as well, so I was like, you know what, let's just go home. It cost me £85 to change my Eurostar ticket, which it is what it is. But like, it meant I wasn't spending money on food in Lille. For those who don't know, last year I went to Lille and I spent, I think, £60 or €60, either way. I spent that in a supermarket and I hadn't even gone around more than a quarter of it. I spent so much money. It was ridiculous. So, you know, I wait up like that. I get another night in my own bed as well. I get to see my cats. I get to see my girlfriend again. So, and she was very happy that I came back early. She came and picked me up as well. So, shout out to Kaya as well. Like, she came and picked me up at like, I think it ended up being like nearly 11 o'clock by the time we got back to the train station. Which is, oh yeah, that was a point. We would, the Eurostar was fine, not a problem. We got delayed in London Euston by about 40 odd minutes, I think it was. So yeah, by the time we got back here, I think it was like 11:30, so 11:30 at night. So I hadn't even spent 24 hours in in France. I was like, in for the tournament, and I'm out to you. Which theoretically, I think is quite possible. Like, if you don't think you're gonna make day 2, I suppose you don't book a return ticket, you just take whatever's available to go home. It's probably the right play, actually. But yeah, no, just wasn't my tournament, and that's fine. And I do feel like because I got late registration, I just wasn't supposed to be there, so I was just like cursed to go against terrible decks. But yeah, I'm gonna put Raging Bolt down as well. Like, I liked playing Raging Bolt, I enjoyed Raging Bolt, but I think I do want something with a few more options. Like, having to use Sada every single turn and not having an option to do much else doesn't feel great, and I did that with Roaring Moon, and that as well didn't feel fantastic to play. But at least with that, we had like way more energy acceleration when that was a good deck to play. So yeah, it is what it is. I'm not upset about it. I'm more tilted. I was tilted by the fact that like the meta share was so low for these decks, and I just kept running into them constantly. Yeah, it is what it is. But yes, onwards to Gdansk. I'm able to do another vlog for that, and we are there for Friday to Monday, so hopefully I'll be able to bring you some videos of some cool stuff as well. It won't just be the tournament. It might just be the tournament. It might be 2 days of the tournament, hopefully. I mean, I'm hopeful. We'll see. But yeah, at the moment, there's 3 decks I'm currently running and testing. I'm sure if you're following on Twitter and stuff, you'll see me posting results of those. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be fun. At the very least, I've been told Gdansk is a very beautiful... At the very least, I've been told Gdansk is a beautiful city, so at least we'll get to do some sightseeing and stuff. That is the kind of the problem with Lille. I don't think there's a lot to do there. And everyone I've spoke to is like, yeah, there's just like better places to go for these things. So yeah. Anyway, if you enjoyed today's video, first of all, thank you. I don't think it's going to be a great one, but next time we'll be doing better. The vlogs will get better, I promise. But yeah, thank you for watching. All my social media links are in the description below. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. See ya.